Hey guys, welcome back to Mr. Drika's Training Ground. Today we are going to push forward in Chapter 7, talking about right triangle trig. Today we are solving for missing angles, and to get the elephant out of the room, you see this right here. That is not a zero. It looks kind of funky. It is a Greek letter that means theta. So if you see something like this, it is just a Greek letter, but it is just a variable. And you will treat it like a variable. If you want to replace this with an x, you absolutely can, as long as there's not an x in the problem that you're working on. Okay, so to solve for a missing angle, first thing we need to do is the same step we took for both of our previous lessons. We got to label our sides. So we should start with the hypotenuse. You should be able to tell me where the hypotenuse is at this point. It's directly across from that right angle. It's going to be this 5 right here. And then that 4 is not across from our angle, right? It's not directly across, it's next to, and the synonym for next to is adjacent. So that's going to be our adjacent side. So we need to pick a ratio that involves both the adjacent and the hypotenuse. And there's only one of those, it is our cosine. So instead of putting a number in our parentheses here, we don't have a number. This time we have a variable. So we're just going to put that variable inside of our parentheses. Now our ratio is adjacent over hypotenuse. It's very similar to the first lesson that we did where we were just setting up the ratios. This time it's going to be 4 over 5. Now, we need to use something slightly different to get this variable by itself because you don't really know how to solve an equation like that. Luckily for us, we have inverse ratios that could take this cosine away, right? So those are our arcsine, arccosine, arctangent, but for the purposes of this class, you're mostly going to see it as this, where you have the little -1 sign at the top. You could probably find a button like that on your calculator. That is the same thing. It means inverse. So we need to use our inverse cosine to get our variable by itself. Now, I'm not going to show you the super messy math of it, all right? I could write out like inverse cosine on both sides and kind of drag it down from there, canceling things out. All I'm going to tell you is when you have this set up here and you're trying to get your variable by itself, we need to take the inverse of whatever function we're using of this fraction here, whatever it is that we set up. So our variable will be equal to the inverse cosine of 4 over 5. Now again, this is something that you could type into your calculator, right? I'm going to pull out my handy calculator. I'm going to press the second button and I'm going to press cosine and it'll pull up that cosine with a little -1 at the top. And I'm just going to type in 4 divided by 5, and that's going to give me my answer, which is 36.9 degrees. And that's it. That is all we have to do to solve for missing angles. Okay? First goal is label our sides. Second goal, figure out which ratio we need to use. Then we need to set it up and take the inverse of that to find a missing angle. All right, go ahead, try the practice problems. If you need any help, please reach out to me, but I think you got this one.